네, 안녕하세요. 사람사랑 대표 이선우입니다. 오늘은 어렵게 시간을 마련했는데요. 마침 저희 임페리얼 대학교 의대생인 최지우 학생이 한국에 이렇게 잠시 오게 되어서 이렇게 인터뷰를 하게 되었습니다. 자기소개 간단히
네,
부탁드릴게요.
영어로 하겠습니다.
네.
Hello everyone, my name is Jiwoo Choi and I'm currently a final year medical student at Imperial College London.
그러면 지금 저희 학생들에게 유캣하고 인터뷰를 좀 도와주고 있잖아요.
네.
유캣은 어떤 식으로 도와주고 있는지 잠깐 소개해 줄 수 있어요?
Yes, so I have been teaching the UCAT and also interview prep for the past 7 years. My approach with the UCAT has always just been to provide a one-on-one support to each student because every student's needs are different. And obviously everyone has different experiences as well and different strengths and different weaknesses. So my approach is generally to catch what a student does well and what a student does not do well as helping them, having them provide me a clear solution process to each question just so that I can kind of see their reasoning as well and fix whatever's there are during the reasoning process.
예. 그리고 유캣 시험은 일단은 기본적으로 어떤 시험이고 영국 의대 지원에 왜 중요한지 이 부분에 대해서 잠깐 설명해 주실래요?
So the UCAT is the University Clinical Aptitude Test, if I'm not mistaken. And quite frankly, it's an exam that you just have to do in order to be part of the medical school application process. It is a requirement, and if you want to go to most medical schools in the UK, it's just something that you have to do.
그리고 유캣은 확실히 A레벨이나 IB 시험하고는 좀 다르죠.
Yes, it's completely different. So with the IB and with the A levels, there's a lot of high critical reasoning, there's a lot of thinking involved in it. Whereas the UCAT is actually a very simple test. All of the questions are actually very easily solved, but the problem with the UCAT is there's not enough time. And so the main issue students have with the UCAT is just the time pressure.
다음 질문인데요. 유캣은 어떤 섹션으로 돼 있고 또 한국 학생들은 어떤 섹션을 또 영국 학생도 마찬가지고 어떤 섹션을 가장 어렵게 생각을 하나요?
So actually, the UCAT is composed of 4 main sections, 3 cognitive sections. So the verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and decision making. And the final one is the situational judgment test. So in terms of numbers, the most difficult section that all students experience, and especially Korean students, is verbal reasoning. The second most difficult one is decision making, and the easiest one by far is quantitative reasoning. And if you look at the UCAT statistics overall, it goes in that order, with verbal reasoning being the hardest and quantitative reasoning being the easiest.
그리고 유캣을 준비하는데 어떻게 준비하는 게 가장 좀 좋을까요?
So I think first of all, a lot of people think that you can just prepare for the UCAT in like 2 months or right before during your summer break. But for a lot of Korean students, actually, their main problem is with the reading aspect of the UCAT. So reading the questions, understanding the questions, and because a lot of Korean students have to translate in their head from English to Korean, that does take up a lot of time when the time itself is so time pressured. So that's the main issue with the UCAT. So I think it depends on each student, but I think preparing at least 6 months before is a good start because it gives you enough time to go through the questions, but also it gives you enough time to kind of understand what process the UCAT wants you to understand, what reasoning process you have to have. So that's one big thing. And another big mistake that a lot of Korean students do when they do the UCAT is they don't read the questions well. So they don't understand the questions well, or they try to read it through quickly, but actually the question text itself contains a lot of important information that you just can't solve the questions without it.
그리고 혹시 그 SJT라는 게 있잖아요. 그리고 SJT는 당연히 의대에 대한 왜 이런 지식이라든지 그 메디컬 프랙티스라든지 이런 걸 좀 알아야 되는데 다른 부분들은 이거에 그렇게 영향이 있진 않죠.
No, so actually for the SJT, although a lot of the questions are based in medical settings, you don't need to know a single thing about medicine. They all just want to see what you would do in a difficult situation. And if you're just a very kind person or an ethical person, you should get most of the answers right. But with the SJT, it is a part of the exam that is a bit difficult for students because the way the SJT is structured, or the way the SJT questions are made, is that they ask a bunch of consultant level doctors to come around and they ask them what they think is the most appropriate answer. And they just go with the answer that most consultants will choose. And obviously different consultants will have different opinions. So for the SJT, my general approach has always just been to memorize the answers and memorize the explanations within the official UCAT website questions. And that's worked for a lot of my friends and for a lot of my students as well.
UK 시험은 트레이닝 통해서 단기간에 점수를 올릴 수 있는 그런 시험인가요?
No, it's not an exam that you can increase your score by a lot in such a short period of time. And the reason for that, especially for Korean students, a lot of Korean students I've realized kind of have weaknesses, especially when it comes to verbal reasoning and when it comes to the argumentative process. So understanding what makes an argument strong, what makes an argument weak. And that's not something that you can just improve in a short period of time. And also when it comes to reading, I think a lot of Koreans struggle to read questions quickly, understand the main point of these questions, and that's also why a lot of them struggle with verbal reasoning. So again, I think it's important for students to start practicing around 6 months before they start their thinking of starting their exam.
그러면 UCAT에 이렇게 준비하려고 하면 처음에 뭐부터 시작하는 게 제일 좋을까요? 과외부터 시작하는 게 좋을까요? 아니면 뭔가 책을 사서 읽어보는 게 좋을까요? 아니면 웹사이트를 통해서 이렇게 스스로 연습을 해보는 게 좀 좋을까요?
So there are a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of online question banks like Medify. There's also a lot of UCAT paper-based textbooks. All of these resources are very good. And honestly, if you are the right student, then it's obviously something that you can self-practice for. But for some students, they struggle with understanding the reasoning process, or they just can't improve their score no matter how hard they try. And so these students could potentially benefit from some tutoring or from some one-to-one mentoring. But yeah, I personally think that when it comes to the UCAT, just practicing questions, understanding the reasoning process is extremely important. And if you need help with that, then you just need help with that.
버벌 리즈닝을 좀 이렇게 하기 위해서 좀 추천하는 게 좀 있으세요? 예를 들면 뭐 책을 빨리 읽는다든지 신문을 빨리 읽어본다든지 평소에 이렇게 좀 준비할 수 있는 게 좀 있어요?
So when it comes to verbal reasoning, a lot of people do want to read very quickly, but the problem is if you read quickly, then you're not absorbing some of the information and you're not processing that information. So my general advice to when people are young, especially if you're thinking of applying to medical school but you're not within the process yet, is to read as many books as you can in English, because that's honestly the best approach to the UCAT. The faster you can understand written information in English, the more likely you are to do better. And that's something a lot of Korean students who mostly grew up in Korea struggle with. They aren't able to read and process information that quickly because they have to translate information into Korean. And so that takes up a lot of time for the UCAT.
그래요. 그러면 이제 저희 학생들에게 어떻게 서포트 해주는 그런 질문인데, 저희 학생들이 1대1을 하면 어떤 식으로 좀 서포트를 해주고 있나요?
So my approach has always been a one-to-one support system. So one glove doesn't fit all sizes. So for each student, I mainly have to do a couple of sessions with them first to understand what their thought process is like, what their strengths and weaknesses are. And that's not something that I can just understand within like 1 or 2 hours. It takes quite a couple of sessions for me to understand where their problem lies and what can actually be improved upon. And once you figured it out, I tell each student to solve each question in front of me perfectly with their solution process written out. Or when it comes to decision making, especially the verbal parts of decision making, I get them to explain to me their reasoning and to voice it out, because that does help students better understand where they went wrong in their critical thinking process. And when it comes to other parts of the UCAT, I provide them a lot of homework, and also I'm always available to answer any questions. But my main approach has always been to provide a customized one-to-one approach.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that if they solve a lot of questions on the UCAT, they can just magically improve their score. But there's a limitation to how much you can improve your score when you just solve a lot of questions, because the most important thing when it comes to the UCAT is understanding what went wrong, understanding why your question is correct.
Yeah.
And a lot of students find that part the most difficult. So especially with decision making, I believe it's a section that you can massively improve your score in, as long as you have the right guidance, the right support, or you just know how to solve questions well, or you know what reasoning process you have to go through.
그 아까 홈워크도 주고 왜 그다음에 가르친다고 했었잖아요. 이렇게 좀 따라오지 않으려고 하는 사람들, 홈워크를 제대로 그냥 진심으로 해오지 않는 거겠죠. 왜 이런 사람들에게는 이런 학생들은 어떻게 좀 다루세요?
So when I teach, my main principles are don't waste your time, don't waste my time, and let's respect each other's time. So obviously when a student doesn't do their homework, that's not on me, that's on them. Because by doing their homework, the student can make most use of the time within our sessions to understand what went wrong or what went right. Whereas if they didn't do their homework, then we just have to go through each question individually, and that's just not an efficient use of their time and money. So I always tell my students, if you don't do your homework, that's on you. Quite frankly, I would enjoy it because it's easier for me to just teach if you just didn't do your homework, because I can just sit there and make you do the questions in front of me. But it's just not a good use of your time.
예. 혹시 유켓을 가르쳤던 사람 중에 정말 이제 레벨이 좀 낮았는데 가르치고 나서 이 친구가 이렇게까지 성장을 했나? 이런 케이스도 있어요?
So I taught someone, and this was in the previous version of the UCAT, and they went from around 2,500 or 600 to around 3,000.
Yeah.
And so they were able to get good enough scores to basically get an interview in every university they applied for the UCAT. So I was able to help increase their points by around 400 to 500 points. For how long? For that person, it was mainly just around 3 months.
3 months. 예. 그리고 영어가 사실 또 문제가 되게 많잖아요. 그래서 모국어가 아니거나 영어를 이렇게 좀 잘하지 않는 학생들은 좀 어려울 텐데 실제로 그런 부분이 많이 있나요?
Yes, so a lot of students, Korean students, do struggle with the English aspect of the test. But it's not something that can be fixed quickly. If you struggle with English when you're taking the UCAT, then you just can't get a high score, because the UCAT does require you to read the question well and to understand the question well. And if you're taking a lot of time just to read and understand the question, then you're not going to have enough time to solve the question. So if you're quite young and you're watching this, my general advice is to improve your English as much as possible, especially if you're thinking of going abroad for university. And that will help you even beyond the UCAT. For example, when you're studying for medical school or when you're interacting with patients always prefer someone who they can interact with very fluidly, rather than someone who's stuttering and struggling to find words of what to say.
여러 학생들에게 좀 육해 관련돼 가지고 마음 편한 얘기, 뭔가 조언을 해줄 수 있는 얘기가 좀 있으세요?
So I think the best advice that worked for me when taking the UCAT was to remember it is an easy exam, but students do get tripped up over just because of the time process. So my best advice for the UCAT when you're taking the UCAT is to not stress. Just be patient, be calm, and solve through each question. And if you didn't do that well in a previous section, then just move on. And with the UCAT, because it is a time-focused exam, you need to know if one question will take you a longer time, skip that question, flag it, and come back to it later once you've solved all of the other questions that take less time. Because the main goal of the UCAT is to maximize your score, and if you're spending all of your time on one certain difficult question, then you're not going to get enough points. And other than that, I think when it comes to the UCAT, I think just having support will make a lot of improvements. But obviously, my approach to helping students is to provide them realistic advice. So with my years of experience, I can kind of gauge how well a student is going to do on the UCAT, and I can help them provide them with information on what medical schools to apply for. And sometimes students do struggle when I tell them to lower their expectations or to lower their standards. But the most important thing is to get into medical school at the end of the day, because once you're in medical school, the things you learn are mostly all the same. So my approach has always been to give students realistic feedback and to give them realistic expectations of what they can get, and to help them get into medical school, because that's my role at the moment. So my role goes beyond the UCAT. I also provide interview support, and I also just help them guide their university applications to get them into a medical school.
그래요. 지금 인터뷰 응해 주셔서 감사드리고요. 그다음에 제 소감을 조금 얘기를 해드린다라고 하면 UK 관련돼 가지고 굉장히 사람들이 굉장히 스트레스를 받아 하거든요. 굉장히 좀 그죠, 타임 프레셔가 너무너무 심하기 때문에요. 하지만 이 UK 점수가 낮았던 학생들도 결국에는 의대를 가는 케이스가 너무너무 많았거든요. 그래서 의대를 톱 학교, 물론 임페리얼 정도 목표를 한다라면 정말 잘 해야 되겠지만 그렇지 않다고 하더라도 의사가 되는 데는 그렇게 문제가 되지 않는다. 심지어는 브루넬, 버킹엄, 랑카셔는 유켓을 요구를 하지 않고 있거든요. 그리고 파운데이션 루트로 간다라고 하면 기본적인 유켓 점수만 좀 채워도 되는 경우도 꽤 있고요. 그래서 이렇게 생각을 한다라고 하면 내가 왜 의사가 돼야 되는지 그런 동기라든지 열정이라든지 그런 게 훨씬 중요하지 않은가, 왜 이런 생각 좀 들어요. 그리고 마지막으로 최지우 학생에게 유켓이라든지 인터뷰 뭐 여러 가지 서포트를 저희 학생들이 해주고 있거든요. 그래서 도움 필요하시면 언제든지 저희 연락처로 연락 부탁드립니다. 네, 감사합니다.